Today is our first live stream for Root. Again, I said I was going back to the beginning, and we'll work our way up to Train Sim World 5 videos. I know what everybody else is probably making videos of today, but we're going back to where it all began. GWE on Train Sim World 2020. We're gonna run 3 services. We're gonna run a HST 43. We're gonna first start with a depot move, and then we're gonna wait at Paddington for the next service. For this first service, this HST will take to Reading. Then we'll move on to a Class 66 run, and then we'll finish with a depot move in the middle of the day out from Reading Train Care Center out to Reading, and then we'll wait for the next service after that for it to go down to Paddington. So we're doing a trip both ways and a Class 66 run part of the way. So let's get started. I'm on the... Sorry folks, but you know how it is if you've watched any of my flight streams before. Okay, so we're doing in the 43 is what we're starting out with. I randomly picked these, but we'll go in order by the times of. So we're gonna leave the depot at 6:36. This will be 5C73 is our schedule number. Old Oak Common Depot to London Paddington. And like I said, after we get to Paddington, we'll loiter around until we get until the driver is ready to leave. We are not doing these as a driver. We are ride-alongs. So let's get in here. And of course, I got to get up out of the driver's seat, and we got to sit here and wait for the delay. So we're gonna sit in the secondary seat. We're gonna go outside for a minute. Okay, so now we just gotta sit here and wait till it asks if we want to give up the service. I thought there was a depot move earlier in the day, but I picked this one at 6:36 in the morning. It looks like there was only a few trains here, and there was no way to spawn in at the depot and then correctly know which train we were going to catch. Unlike with the new features in Train Sim World 5, you can't check your 2D map. And I probably could have set the train up, but nope, we're not driving. It's funny, they get the different patterned seat than we do. Unfortunately, yes, this is the only way to do it, is to spawn in on the service you want, and then just get out of the driver's seat, and wait for it to ask if you want to give up the service or not. I had to mute that for a minute, guys, because I had to sneeze. Now, I was planning to separate this live stream and make 3 separate videos with it. I don't know if they're going to come up later today or not. Alright, so, yes, we want to. Now we have a driver. And, we are going to stay outside. trying to move this with one hand, folks. Now, I did do the glitch code thing. We should have 8 coaches behind us. So we should have the longer 43, but I'm not quite sure. And this depot move takes forever to do. Again, the only reason we're starting with the depot move here is, well, you guys, if you've seen my depot move video with the 43, we had a SPAD. Now, our 166 service today, we're not coming from the depot, I remember. We're just starting out from Reading. I got a pretty good clip of us coming from the depot there. I'm only redoing the depot on this one because I didn't actually get us into Paddington. If so, I would have just picked the service of us leaving from Paddington. So we're gonna make good time on this. I don't know how long we'll have to wait at Paddington Station for our first service for this train for the day to go out to Reading. And I will have to figure out how to disembark when we get to Reading because, yeah, if we stay on the train, we'll end up being thrown out of the train in the middle of nowhere on the tracks past Reading. The game just boots you out of the train and then runs you over. So I will have to get out of the loco at Reading. Now, the only reason we're doing that, so I'm going through the release history and making videos that way. But, that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to be doing live streams in the order of route release stuff. It just so happened that GWE never got any DLC in Train Sim World 2020. So I did all the videos I could, and then now we're doing the live stream. Don't know what the next live stream will be of trains for 2020. We will get to all the routes, and then anytime I get something new goes into a route, there'll be a video. But by the time we get to Train Sim World 2, we should have a route ride along with every route here, and all of these that are moving forward into Train Sim World 2. We might revisit them if there's DLC. We will revisit Great Western Express because it has the Legends of the Great Western, which is just locos we have from Train Sim World 2020. They just got new livery and stuff on the trains, and they're brought into the GWE route, and then so we'll do that when it comes there. We won't revisit these three. I won't revisit these 3 trains, but we'll do those 3 locos for the Legends. I know that much for Train Sim World 2. I don't think there was anything for Great Western on Train Sim World 3. But there was an aggregate pack for Train Sim World 4, which I will add in, and we'll check out the aggregate pack with the 66 when we get to Train Sim World 4. In fact, I've got quite a few videos already produced and scheduled to go up the rest of this week. I can't remember what they are. I think I got as far as I need to start putting up stuff for main Spetsbomb. I think that's what's next to come up. So, of course, we've got other tracks off to the side and stuff. I don't know what's supposed to be over there in that yard. That is one of the biggest things in this version is there's a lot of empty track. And I don't know if that is over there. I don't know if that's the West Coast Main Line or if that's GWE tracks down there. According to the 2D map, it's not on the map, so that must be West Coast Main Line. It's hard to tell. That could be main line for all I know. Yep, we're heading up to London. Yeah, it's hard to know what tracks are what. Other than we haven't seen anything else. Let me get down here. That steam, that sun was hitting that steam coming off our steam, our exhaust. It's hitting the exhaust cloud and blinding me. I don't know if anybody's gonna drop in and watch this live stream. Like I said, I'm live streaming Train Sim World 2020, not Train Sim World 5, so I don't know if a lot of these videos are gonna get views. Are we stopping? It sounded like we were slowing down. Maybe we're finally speeding up. I don't remember how far I got before I spat. I don't even think we got out of the depot. We're on our first leg here from Old Oak Common. We're heading into Paddington, and then we're going to stick with this as we turn around and head back out to Reading. Now, I could have just stuck with doing the most recent content, but I wanted to go back from the beginning again. I started doing something like that, and then, but I was jumping around. We won't be moving on to a Train Sim World 2 till I'm done with 2020. And unlike last time, we are showcasing everything, not just what was in the base games. Just because everything... I want to showcase how things were when they first came out. And then the changes to that route when we got them coming up to Train Sim World 5. So, am I going to do Train Sim World 2 Loco intros again? I'm not sure just yet. I think I'm only going to do an intro to anything that might be new to that specific route. So I'm not going to redo all the tutorials and stuff for, like, the Great Western here. The only thing other than the Great West Legends of the Great Western that we got on Train Sim World 2 is, if you have the Bakerloo, and again, if you bought Train Sim World 2, you have the Bakerloo line. But in, a 72 stock gets laid in at East Ealing here on the Great Western. It's just sitting there. It's a static train. You can get in there. You can mess with it, but it's not gonna move. I don't see a reason to go in and showcase that. It's not adding any gameplay. It looks like a platform right there. Well, I guess there is a platform. We're coming in Paddington. So I could run to the other end. But we might just stick here in this train. Again, one hand with a controller is not easy to do. She should be popping out soon because we gotta do it. We're leaving from the other end. And again, I don't know what time. Is there a way to test here? The schedule is empty, so there's no way of knowing exactly when this train leaves again. Although she's still sitting here. But I know we gotta go the other way, so... Okay. Be my luck, the train pulls off. If that's the case, we will be ending this service. Alright, well, we managed that pretty successfully. We shouldn't be sitting here that long. Like, I can't check the notice boards because, that they weren't really working the way you think they would be working in 2020. There's a lot of things not working correctly, especially on this route in 2020. I just hope we're not sitting here too long. I have no idea when this next service starts. Maybe 7 o'clock? I'm gonna say we're starting at 7 o'clock. I doubt we're leaving in a minute. Or in less than a minute. I don't think we're leaving at 55. So I'm gonna say we're sitting here till at least 7. What do we talk about? Well, today is the 12th, November, 2024. What came out today for Train Sim World? The new Massachusetts Bay Transit Authority commuter, MBTA commuter, Worcestershire, I say Worcester to South Boston station. I think they were calling it Worcester. I guess that's how the Bostonians call it, Worcester. 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 Alright. And yeah, I gotta kill time here. I don't know if anybody's gonna watch this after it's uploaded or not. Again, I was gonna... I'm thinking about it. I don't know if I'm gonna do cutting each of these services into their own videos of like HST run, 66 run, 166 run. Can I move the... We still got our tail lights on. And that's just us sitting there awkwardly. That doesn't look like my character at all. Well, we're supposedly sitting in the chair, but we're not sitting in the chair according to that camera view. You saw me, folks. I sat down in the chair, but we're not in the chair. Okay, let's get back in the cab then, because that's a terrible view. The crazy AI, and we're waiting for a driver. Again, I don't know when this service is supposed to leave. There's no way to find out. I don't think there's a way to find out. Actually, there is a way to find out. You know how you find out? Alright, so, when are we scheduled to leave? Wait for service to start, 7:06. Okay, but of course we're not doing the service, so let's switch seats again. Now, what's funny is I might have just glitched this, and I might actually, well, I'm not going to get a lot, but I might just get the action points for us to load and unload passengers. Okay, 7:06. Ugh, we got 5 minutes still to kill. Maybe a little more, because I took this, because now we gotta wait for it to ask if we want to give up the service. Which, it might do that anyway here in a minute before the timer, because we got out of the seat. I wish there was a way to test that and then just automatically give up a service if you didn't want it. But we don't have that option. I know we're just sitting here, I'm barely talking. I honestly wasn't sure if I wanted to still do this morning. The other day, my final flight stream for 20 flights in 2020, I live streamed for 4.5 hours and no one came in and watched. And today I figured no one would come in and watch, because if you're a Train Sim World fan, you're watching other live streams of Train Sim World 5 content today. Maybe people will watch this after it's uploaded. It's hard to know. I deleted a lot of videos. One that definitely was getting views, just because I wanted to restart what I was doing and do it differently. Because I don't know if there was a way to... Once you upload a video, I didn't know how to... I could have probably made it private again and maybe tweaked it, re-edited it, and then made it public again in the future. I don't know if that would have worked, though. Especially if people already saw it. I think I'm doing a little bit better. I am at least giving y'all thumbnails, though they might not be the best. Alright, well, it's not asked if I wanted to give up the service just yet. So, it might not happen till a minute after that, and then, of course, that puts the AI behind schedule, but somehow they stay on schedule after that. Now, I could either get out of the train at Reading and look for a 66, but I also wrote down a service of what we were going to do. Because I figured I would have just had to load in the 166. So we'll see when we get to Reading if I can disembark the 43 and switch to a 166, leaving Reading, and we'll come back to Paddington. We'll do that. If not, then I've got us the service, I believe. Well, technically the next service would have been the 66, but like I said, we'll see what happens when I get to Reading. But trying to control with one hand and hold the camera with the other, it might be easier just to load into the service I wrote down. But I knew because I did a depot move, we were gonna sit here for this part. If I knew how long if I knew what the next service time was, I could have just exited out and came back in for when we were about to depart, but we're nearly there now. But then we gotta wait to for them to ask if we want to give up the service. Welcome in. We're getting ready to leave Paddington, heading to Reading on our ride along on the 43. And then I don't know what we're doing. Don't know if we're taking a 166 from Reading back to Paddington when we get to Reading, or if I have to load in a service. And what is... Okay, so now we're just waiting for the computer to or for the game to ask us if we want to give up the service or not. So yes, we're running behind schedule now because I'm not driving the service. And when did it say we were due in the Reading? 32. So yeah, how long are we gonna sit here before it asks if I want to give up the service? I don't know how long we are, but I believe we're the 8 car. I don't know how long we're supposed to sit here before we get the prompt. I mean, how long do you sit here? I don't remember. But the longer we sit here waiting for it to ask us if we want to give up our service, the more behind schedule this 43 is going to be. Well, it looks like we're getting a flicker of someone coming in for a few seconds, or people coming in for a few seconds. Again, this was a stream I was not expecting anybody drop in for a Train Sim World 2020 stream. Especially with the release of the new Boston route today. Are we leaving? We're leaving. So, it didn't ask me if I wanted to give up the service. Which means I will probably get points at the end of this when we get to Reading. There's that station we can't actually stop at. Although you can do a free roam service and stop there with a train on with the with 4 or 5, and then off to our left was another station that veered off that was supposed to be, I guess, one of the tube lines, and it boots you out of the game if you go that way. But in 2020, we can't do cool things like pick our path and drive where we want. We're just stuck to the main line. Yeah, see, we still have the objective and everything up there. So, if this was the 166 service, we'd be getting a lot of points coming. Look at that, a ghost driver. Let's see, folks, if I can... Alright, folks. Nope, no driver in the back either. This is a driverless train. I didn't know that the 43s could be automated. Because we're not driving the train. Alright, let's skip to the front boom camera view. I don't know what traffic, if any, we will see on our way out to Reading. And because it's so awkward to maneuver the camera, I don't think I'm gonna try to figure out how to walk around Reading Station to pick up a 166 coming back up to London. Yeah, so that's a glitch, folks. I sat down, got out of the seat. You saw that it never asked if I wanted to give up the service. So it's gonna act like I'm in charge, yet the AI is driving and will stop, open the doors and everything right when they should. So if you do that with a 166, you will get the action points. So I'm not sure if it's possible to actually, you're not gonna get a medal. There's no way to get a medal doing it this way, even if you were doing an all stops service, because you get points for staying within the speed limit and stuff, and it's not calculating that right now, or my score would not be 0. And then I have no idea how long our 66 service will take. I just pick stuff. I've never actually, I mean, I might have actually drove these before, but it's not like I went in and did these before. If I had done these before, I would already have separate videos I could just upload when I'm done the live stream. But I'm not gonna separate them. It's just way too much more work. So there's just gonna be the one video today. I did depot moves. They're interesting. They're short. I knew I could get them done within 10, maybe 20 minute, or 10 to 15 minute video for a depot move. Not all engines or locos will have depot moves. There was 2 for here. I screwed up the 43. That's why we did the move out, and then sat and waited to leave Paddington. Oh. So GWE is getting is supposed to be getting remastered, but there's been some delays because some other things took priority to work on versus working on remastering GWE. So don't know when we're getting it. We're not getting it by the end of the year. I'm guessing we're not gonna get it by the end of the year. So I don't know if that glitch that we just did to leave Paddington, I don't know if that works with any other game. Just because, like, in Train Sim World 4 and 5, you could look at a timetable and you knew where, if you could figure out where to spawn in, and you could figure out which train you were gonna get. Not so easy in 2020 and Train Sim World 2. But for streaming the way I stream, it was easier to pick a service and then wait for the AI or just the computer to take it over. So, I changed seats when it spawned me in with the 43, as you guys saw, and it asked if I wanted to give up the service. However, I switched ends. I sat in the driver's seat. I took the service. Then I got up and moved, and it didn't ask if we wanted to, um, keep driving its service. It just pulled off all on its own with technically me still driving. We're not seeing much traffic, which again is pretty typical for this route back when it was first put together. And I don't know what time zone they use for these videos, or especially for 2020, or for the rest of Train World for that matter, because, like when we play the Northeast Corridor on Train World 2020, let's just say the sun is up and very bright at 5 o'clock in the morning. Which is not true for New York City. The sun does not rise before 6. I would say the earliest the sun rises on the East Coast in the U.S. is probably, or for North America, maybe 6 o'clock. Because even in the same time, East Coast time zone, things are off by a minute. I live in East Tennessee, and New York is about a minute ahead of us. And places like Maine and maybe New Brunswick, and Nova Scotia, Canada, they might be an hour ahead of Maine. And but the sunrise at 5 a.m. in New York City is not a reality in any way. Well, there was another, it looked like a 43 in the other direction, but it might have been a 6.6, a 166. And then you got your barren field off to the left there. Again, I don't know how true to reality that is. It just looks very terrible. Yes, I don't know what time zone they use. Just like when they put weather in Train Sim World 3, 4, and 5, dynamic weather, it seems to always rain no matter what. And I think it's based on UK weather patterns, because you can't, I know this for a fact, it does not rain nearly as much as it does on the game as it does in real life in California. And it never fails. No matter what you do, it's going to have some kind of precipitation. It's almost always going to rain with dynamic weather turned on. And a lot of streamers, we turn dynamic weather off because it just makes it cloudy. It makes things not nice to look at. Although sometimes with the sun glaring and no clouds in the sky, seeing all the mistakes that the developers left in is not always best either. You know what's good about the way we did this? Granted, I know what Reading Station looks like, but I'll know when we're done this service, that's for sure. We've got tracks going off to the left back there. There is a station in down near the train care depot in Reading. There's a station down there along that triangle of the track that we don't have services to, because nothing goes out past the port, the spawn point for trains coming in and out from that direction. So no service actually goes down there, because it would just have to go down there and then it go off the map. It can't turn around and come back. If it was a turnaround service at that station, I think we would have been able to go down there and stop there. We just passed another train. I rarely see 66s when I've been in here driving or doing something like this where we're just riding along. Usually all I'll see is the 166 and the 43. Welcome in. We're on our way to Reading from Paddington in the 43, and then we'll switch to do a service with either the 66 or 166. See, I don't even know what stations we're going through and all that. That's one feature in Train Sim World 5 I love, is that you can look at the 2D map and know exactly where you are at. Finally, I don't know why it took them so long to implement that feature. Oh, sorry for the muting that, folks. I had to sneeze twice there. I've been having sneezing fits today. Oh, golly. I don't know what's gotten up in my nose today. I just keep sneezing. Well, to my subscribers that watch this, maybe, I need some feedback. I know you guys, some of you guys don't really like the camera or the way I'm filming, and you know, too damn bad. I gotta do what works for me. But, no, I want to know from you guys, should I pick a different time of day? I don't know where most of you are that watch this are watching it from. If I could, but I usually do my live streams when I have the ability to do them with as little distractions as possible. And that's guaranteed, usually 2 days a week. In fact, I have no idea what I'm doing. Like, I did not record, I didn't stream Sunday because I had nothing to stream. I mean, I can't sit here and do my tutorial videos without actually having my hands on the controller, so I can't live stream that. And Saturday was our final flight sim for 2020, so this coming Sunday, same thing, on the 17th, I have no plans to do a live stream. I mean, I've got videos already coming out, pre-recorded, ready to be scheduled for release. And it looks like water there, but that's just a big field, empty field. Anyway, there's unless what I'm doing and still see, I can't keep releasing content out in the future and then come back and do a live stream on Sunday, because that just wouldn't make sense. So if there's a live stream this coming Sunday on November 17th, it's because I decided to do a flight sim. But I already said I was doing a final one, so there won't be any videos. I don't know if I'm going to be doing, I don't know if next Tuesday, the 21st, if there'll be a live stream of Train Sim World. Train Sim World Tuesdays, Flight Sim Sundays. So, I don't know. Like I said, I already got stuff. I think I've got videos already scheduled and pre-recorded and scheduled to go out all the way up till Sunday this week. I gotta look. I gotta do some work tomorrow, because if I can get through, I'm up as far as the release of the main Spec Art Bond on the release history, and then, and main Spec Art Bond did add layers to other routes, but, there's no tutorial for the other routes, so I don't have to go back and create videos for Rapid Transit or Rights Ignored, even though there's layered logos. There's no training tutorial on that, on Rights Ignored or Rapid Transit. And I can't remember what's next after the main Spitz Up on, but I think the next train sim, where I know we get all the DLC, and that's what I'm like this. I knew there was no DLC, and I was the other ones, I'm not quite sure. The only one I'm sure of that I know didn't get any DLC is the Oakville subdivision. But that came, was released near the end of the cycle. We got quite a few locos that, that we'll have to look at, like the heavy freight pack. I think a diesel shunter for a German route. The G6, I believe. I know there's Ryru Austin and Hamstracht Ryru still to come. East Coast Way. Peninsula Corridor, Oakville Sub, Tees Valley, I think that's all of them. Well, I'm trying to think what might be the next live stream. It might actually be, it's either going to be Northeast Corridor, Ride Along Stream, or it might be the Long Island Railroad. Looks like we got a red. We're coming up on Ready? Yep. Let's get back in the cab as we get our points for stopping at the right point. And said, I forgot this glitch was in the game. And I don't know if they've ever removed it. I mean, it's not really that bad. You don't get enough points to get a gold medal. Not even enough to get bronze. All we'll do is complete the service. Although it took away the colored rainbow thing, you get to know where to stop at the right point. So a service move and then waiting to go out of Reading took us about an hour. And we got 2 more services to do. Yeah, look at that. We got 500 points. And we're gonna get more points for unloading the passengers here. I'm not I'm not quitting until it's gonna come to an end service stream. So I should have did that. Well, I kind of I didn't intentionally do this. So yeah, you got 600 or 854 points. With a perfect line there. The AI did all the speed changes and everything. We were due in at 7:32. We actually got there at 35. So we were a couple minutes late, which is what it should have been. Anyway, so timetable. Oh, well, I didn't go to timetable. It brought us back here. Timetable. What was the next service of the day that I have planned? What was next? The 66 at 9:32 in the morning. Okay, and we want the Shanklin DB livery. And I said 9:32. Okay, here's the service I want. Now, I should be able to give up this service. I don't know. I believe I did earlier. I believe all I did was switch seats earlier when I was trying to make this a standalone video. And they're not beholden to a schedule, so I don't remember how long it took before I got the message thing. This is us right here. We got quite a load on us. I don't know how much because, well, it couldn't be that long because this was 2020 and they weren't sure what the game could or could not do. And we don't have a screen in this game that tells us our weight and such, so... Okay, so this service that I picked was service 4 Victor 53 at 0932 hours. And we're in the Shanklin Red DB livery, which is technically the only thing we should have, although mine shows both of them. The EWS, even though I don't have East Coast Way installed at the moment. I could have just went and installed all the DLC, and then we could have ran the routes, but I like going through the release history and installing things one by one, and then like if something's layered on and I can go back to another route and add, if everything's all on at the same time, I'm just gonna run you show you the intros, and then we're just gonna do a service run for each loco on that on the route. Alright, so yes, we want to give up the service. And away we go. Well, there's no way of this taking off all on its own. And that train was parked in the facing us, going in the opposite direction of us. It's a pretty good length train. It's not long. Actually, it's a lot longer than I thought it was, but, they're not nearly as long as what we get, in the later games with even on this route. And I don't know how long this service will take. I think we're heading to Acton Yard or something. And then my 166 service should be an all-stopping pattern down into Reading. Welcome in. We just started our 66 run, our ride-along, whatever we want to call this. We are riding along. We're in the second seat. Don't know what those tracks overhead go to. I actually don't know. There's plenty of other people that know more about the actual route we're on and what crosses over and what doesn't, what should or should not be running down on the lines next to us. I only know what we got here and what goes here. I've learned something that, I've learned and done some, watched videos, learned the history of certain places, but I still don't actually know. And let's go through the building. Oh, they bumped us down. Okay. Now, that went up all on its own. I did not move it down that time. But this time it didn't move up. Interesting. The only issue I can think of might happen with picking services is, well, when you come across a service that can't get completed due to a bug, and I'm not too good at how to use the forums and stuff for Dovetail to report stuff. Granted, I could just, if I could just give them, someone redirect them to my video, and then they'll see what's going on. But these are older games. No one's playing these enough that Dovetail's gonna fix these. They barely fix stuff going wrong with the current games. Look at that empty yard we have right there. I mean, all that track just sitting there empty off to the side. Yeah, I don't know how often we'll do this. Like I said, I wanted to do it when I know there was no DLC being layered back into a route per game. I mean, I could have just loaded in Train Sim World 5, all its DLCs, and we could have just done I could have went through each route, but that's not how I wanted to do it. I wanted to showcase the changes for each game. Another yard off to the left there. Nothing in it. We had some sidetrack to the right. I just realized that stuff. Mom came in here and vacuumed before I went live, and the dog bed is not on the floor. But, yeah, I don't know what else to talk about, guys. Should they have extended GWE? I don't know. Are they gonna do it with the remaster? I don't think so. Everybody kept saying, I think now this is what I've heard other streamers and stuff say. They should have went to Dickcock. They could have went to Gatwick with the GWE. They could have went to Bristol. So I don't know how much further that would have extended this. But there's no way you were going to get the Great Western full route. They own a lot in the West. I find it funny though it says Great Western, yet London is on the eastern side of the country. Okay, those are flyovers that go off the map. I believe that was flyover route. Railroad that goes off the map. We haven't seen any other traffic on this run right here. And I believe this train is doing more than its supposed 75 limit. I do have the asset, the mastery for this, but I've not been able to find it. It's somewhere in Reading with the music festival. And I actually, like I said, I have no idea what direction we're running right now. Because I don't know if south means south into London. Because apparently you say you're going up to London no matter what direction you're coming from. And I don't know what this service was. I did not look at it when we clicked start. Welcome in. We're on our class 66 run. We've done the 43. Next will be the 166. Oops, sorry folks, I don't know how long my finger was in the view there. So we got an empty field on the right and an empty field on the left. I think in the remaster, these catenaries are actually going to have the wires, and so maybe we're going to get a new loco in the remaster. If you already have GWE, you won't pay for the remaster, but you will have to pay for any new locos that they decide to do as add-ons. I don't know how much it costs separately. If you've got Train Sim World 2020, then you should have a compatible copy of GWE. Because it had to be a separate DLC for Train Sim World 2 and up, so I don't believe I had to pay for GWE a second time. Of course, this Tuesday was the MBTA Worcester to South Boston. There's a 43. And then next week is the I don't know what it's called, but you go from Carlisle to Preston, and you'll be able to route hop with from the Blackpool branches line at Preston to go to Preston to the Carlisle route, which I think is West Coast Mainline South. It's another portion of the West Coast Main Line. And that's out on the 21st. So we've seen two 43s go past us in the same direction. Now, so I don't know on this service whether we got to drop off if we drop off stuff, you know, you uncouple and then we pull off and do something else. I don't know. I don't know if we're doing any yard switching of cargo here. I guess we'll have to find out when we get to where we're going. I know, I'm sorry, there's a lot of dead air this time. I don't know what to be talking about. I don't know how to fill the dead air this time. Sorry, folks. I said I was going to do this live stream this morning, and I really wasn't feeling like doing it this morning, but I said I was going to, and I'm following through with that versus not putting anything out today, because if I didn't live stream, I would have had to move all my videos up a day, and most of my videos would have to move a day and 12 hours. I think we're slowing down. But why are we slowing down is another question, right? Alright, folks. I'm gonna hit... Oh, crud. Stuff falling all over the place. Let's see here. See, here's the rear of the train. Okay. There's the camera view we had. So we are stopping. Okay, and like I said, I don't know how this service will end. If it's just gonna chuck us out of the map eventually or what. But we stopped, now we're moving again. And I don't know which way are we going. It looks like we're heading towards Reading. Well, folks, since we might not know when the service ends, we're gonna stick with it till we get chucked out. It looks like we're heading towards Reading. And we didn't leave anything behind. And again, I've not played this service myself. I didn't play it before I did my live today, so I don't know exactly what we stopped for, or if it was just a red light. We didn't change tracks or anything. We stayed on the track we were already on. So, this right here, this yard, that's Reading Depot. And there is there's a station somewhere. I think the station is right here, before the track splits. But it's not in here because we don't come down here very much. All we do is leave this yard and go up to Reading. We're stopping again, huh? No, we didn't stop, but we definitely slowed down. And I think we're picking up speed again. You got some tracks going off that way. I don't know. That could have been the turnoff to go to Gatwick. Or to Heathrow. So you could go to Gatwick or Heathrow on here. Or in real life. Not in the game. I believe it's the Elizabeth line is what it is that's from Heathrow Airport. So when it's not, you can't do it just yet, but once Great Western Express has been remastered, you can route hop from the Bakerloo Line's Paddington Station to upstairs to Paddington Station. I don't think there is another route hop point though on Great Western other than that. And apparently there is only one route hop point on West Coast Main Line. And I think it was at... So, from Queen's Park to Harrow and Willstone, there should be route hop points at each of those stations to go to the Bakerloo line. And I'm not sure if there's one at each station or not. It'll be interesting how many times I do a Class 66 intro video. Like, how many routes is it really on? I don't know if there's any other liveries other than the Shanklin and the EWS. Which pretty much look the same anyway. Like I said, I think there's just different sounds for the EWS. Yeah, we're heading to Reading, but I don't know exactly where this service is going to terminate. I didn't pay attention before we launched in, so... That looked like a very short train. That was probably the 166. I say, look, if it was the 43, then something's wrong. And the graphics here just look really bad. If I was driving this, I wouldn't notice it nearly as bad. Or nearly as much. Maybe with the remaster, it won't look so terrible. I say that with skepticism because a lot of their stuff, depending on who's doing it, some graphics just don't look right, no matter who's doing them. Sounds like we're slowing down again, doesn't it? But we're still on the main line. And then after this, folks, we're gonna do service number 2P47, which is at 12:18 p.m. For the 166, Reading to Paddington. I believe the 12:18 would be the service that would have took over after the depot move at like 12:06 in the afternoon. There it goes off to the left, something else going off to the left. And that time it's still on the map. So there was a platform over there too. I don't know what's off that way. Ooh, I didn't mean to hit that button. I said, I don't know where this service is supposed to terminate. We might be going off the map for all I know. What did I say this 166 was? Oh, okay. 2 Papa 7. 2 Papa 47. is our next service. Now, I got quite a few views when I first started putting up train sim videos. With what I've put up so far, starting back at 2020, the views are not coming in nearly as much as they did before. I mean, I guess I could help myself out that way, but I basically only watched the replay once myself, so just to make sure it gets at least one thumbs up. Do we have a driver? Welcome in. I can't get us back in the cab. Okay, driver mode. Okay, camera mode. Well, apparently the camera is kind of screwed up. Yeah, somehow the camera's kind of screwed up. Because I can't get back into the cab. Well, folks, we're at Reading. But I can't get us back into the cab. Well, folks, I'm just gonna end this one here. Because I don't know what happened with the camera there. I couldn't get us back into the cab. Maybe it's because I was in the secondary seat, but... One sip 6. And I said 2 Papa 47. Reading to London, Paddington. That is 2 Papa 47. Alright. And that bronze was from our service I did from the depot. Okay. Here's the last run for today's stream. Might be another hour. Okay, let's get up. Ooh. Let's see. Service is supposed to start at 12:18. So either it's gonna take off on its own, or it's gonna ask us if we want to give it up or not. Alright, so... Well, this time it's working. I don't know what was going on earlier, a few minutes back. And we're about to be 2 minutes late. And off we go. Sounding a lot louder than it should. Let's go to this camera. Now, I don't know what stopping pattern we have here, other than I know we're heading into Paddington. And I can't tell you where we're stopping. Not now, and... yeah, no information. So, if someone wanted to do a train cam, to do train spotting on this route, where would you place the camera? I think I'd place it with trains coming in to, somewhere on Reading, where you could 360 it, because you've got your 166s, you've got your 43s, and 66. So you got stuff coming from the depot, so you want a camera coming from trains coming in that way, along with the 43s and the 166s coming in from off the map. And then you go to the other way, you got stuff coming from Paddington coming in the station. But do you really want a train spot with only 3 locos to look at? Coming in and out? I mean, I guess some people do. I don't know. I don't do train spotting. Well, I knew we were gonna go for at least an hour. I didn't think we'd get this far into a live stream, folks. I didn't think we'd get 2 hours, but we're gonna get a little more than 2 hours. I can't tell if we're starting to slow down or not. This might be another non-stop service in the from Reading to Paddington. It wasn't what I intended to do. I wanted a stopping service. We are slowing down here a little bit. So maybe this is a stopping service. Welcome in. We're on our 3rd service as in the 2nd seat today. We're going into Paddington from Reading on a 166. Again, I have no idea what's down that way, other than we never see trains on those 2 tracks, so that might be, well, it's a bay platform back there. I don't know what stations we're at again. It's hard to tell on Train Sim World 2020. Unless you actually know and have memorized it. So, I don't know how many stops we do have here with the 166, but this was definitely the first station from Reading. We're sitting here quite a while, aren't we? There we go. Like, we thought we'd be leaving already. I hear another train. Is that us? That was us. I don't know how many views this is going to get today, or, well, I mean, not just today, when it goes up, but after this. Don't know how interested people are going to be to come back and watch a Train Simulator 2020 video. If anything, add it to your watch later playlist. If you do like I do and you create a watch later playlist to put on when you go to bed at night, you don't have to actively watch this whole damn thing. You can just put it on and listen to the noises and my voice. It's if my voice is soothing enough to fall asleep to. I fall asleep to my own live streams. So, if that's what people want to do later, welcome in. We've got viewers again. We got 2 viewers. Hello there, people. We're on our 3rd service for this live stream, a 166 into Paddington. We're just riding along in the 2nd seat. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you like my content, and hit that notify bell. Actually, that's the first time I've said it this whole stream, so I've not inundated people with that, the whole spiel of what you do with it on YouTube. Their chat is available. Maybe you just happen to stumble across this live stream thinking it was the new Boston route today. Sorry, we're not. No, we're going back to the beginning, the very beginning. GWE on Train Sim World 2020. We've already done a 43. We did a 43 from the depot into Paddington. Then we sat around in Paddington for about 10 minutes. And before the AI took over, although the AI technically didn't take over because I never had to relinquish. Yeah, the prompt that asked if you want to go to the server never happened at Paddington. So I technically drove the 43 from Paddington to Reading. We did a 66 from, I don't know where, we pulled into Reading, and I didn't know how long we were going to sit at the station, so I ended the service, probably prematurely. The AI was in control, so there was no way I actually knew whether we were done the service or not. And then, now we're on our 166 from Reading into Paddington, and I didn't start this off with a depot move because I did a really good video, standalone video that came out earlier. I think came out yesterday. I can't remember. Yeah, I pre-record stuff and put it up, and then I don't remember when I put it up. Other than it came out before we live streamed today. I don't even think there's any videos out today other than this live stream's going out today on the 12th of November. So, I didn't do the depot move because I went from train care Reading to Reading Station without any problems. But if you watched my 43 depot move, I had a SPAD. So that's why there's a depot move with the 43 on the live stream here today. And the AI took care of the move. And then when we got to Paddington, I switched ends very clumsily with one hand with the controller. And then I sat in the driver's seat just to find out when we were going to leave. And then I got up and sat in the second seat. And, well, it never asked me to give up the service. So I made 854 points for stopping. I got 500 points for stopping on target at Reading, and then the rest of the points were for unloading the passengers. We were dinged a few points because, of course, we were delayed by 3 minutes because they didn't ask me when I wanted to terminate the service. I mean, so waiting for that put the driver behind schedule by a few minutes. Because they're going to drive to the speed limit. Alright, well, this is our second station. And maybe this was an intermittent stop because it... But I'm not sure. We've got quite a distance still to go. Alright, folks. We're at our second stop in the Paddington. All we're doing is sitting here waiting for the driver to close the doors. Now, I think the remaster will give us, hopefully give us some guard services. Now, but I'm not sure. I don't know about on the 43. I know there's a guard, I think there's a guard panel for the 166 here. But I'm not sure if there's a guard panel in the coaches for the 43. Actually, there's no button. There has to be a guard panel in the coaches because there's no button in the cab. Alright. I was erasing the dry erase board. And I've got two of them. I got a big one up there under the keyboard. Some of you may have seen it before. That's where I write my flight information. And then the tiny one down there is what I wrote my services on to tell you today. So, when we pull into Paddington, there is a tunnel on our left, all the way far left. In fact, it's part of the upper station. You can walk down part of it, even in on 2020. I think that's where the tube comes out. I'm not sure because on the Bakerloo line, the tube train never comes out above ground at near Paddington. And then there's also a tunnel something off on the right as well, and heading into Paddington. But of course, there's invisible walls, and we can't explore everywhere that the developers have put tracks. Like the things I keep pointing out to you, where they go off to the right or the left, and then you pull up the 2D map, and it may not even be there on the 2D map, but you can see it in map. That's just stuff they did. Like you got the Greenford, the train's going to Greenford. You can't do those. You can do those services if you do the trick to get your Greenford services on this game. But you can't actually go to Greenford. Just like you can't actually go to Bristol. So now, if Train Sim World, or if there was a train simulator that ever was close to Flight Simulator, where where it was a whole world and all the trains were, all the railroads, all the tracks were laid, and you could just do some. That might be cool if you get what I'm going, what I'm thinking about there. Now, since this was Microsoft, or this was TSW 2020, we know there's airports nearby. We're not hearing them. We're not going to hear planes here. In the remaster, we might hear jets because we're going. You have Heathrow and Gatwick, and London City Airport is not far from Paddington Station either. Oh, I had to sneeze again, folks. Sorry for that. So, yeah, there's airports, at least 3 airports that could have flights or, jet. We could have noises, aircraft noises. So that might be implemented into the remaster of this route. They do have an Airbus license. Planes have shown up in other routes for Train Sim World 5, so. I think we are in all. I think we are stopping at every station. We're not even halfway yet. I don't have these memorized in any order, so I have no idea what station we're actually at right now. Other than I know we're heading in at Paddington Station. I don't know if this is going to be a 3-hour stream. It might be. Might be. As far as I know on this route, there's no AI issue where we're going to get stuck at a red and never proceed. And we pretty much already saw, we saw us come into Paddington, but that was from Old Oak Common. Welcome in. We're on our third trip into Paddington. Or not our third trip. Third trip in the stream on our way into Paddington. You know, like always, people come in, see that it's boring, and then they leave after 5 seconds. People probably just see the word TSW. They don't pay attention to the fact that it says 2020 behind it. Or GWE. Although GWE would attract a crowd if I hadn't put 2020 behind it. I just put TSW, GWE. People would probably went and shit themselves because they thought maybe they released the remaster on the same day they did the new Boston route without saying anything. Now, I don't remember the last time I've actually drove a 166 full service, all stops from either direction, so I don't know how long it actually takes. Granted, I'm usually behind schedule, so we don't typically sit at a station nearly as long when you're running late, especially if you're only a few seconds late. So you got some stuff off that way that goes off the map. I don't think that side, I don't know if anything stops over there. I'm not sure which station we're at, because that's one thing I like about Train Sim World 5, and its 2D map is what they did with the map. This looks like we might be near the airport. Those look like residential buildings right there. There's a book there, so there's a scenario here at the station. Oh, we're at the station. One of the stations is you go across the footbridge, grab a train. That book, the book either means a training mission or a scenario. But I believe that was the station where we do the 43 intro video from. Or the, Welcome to the Great Western. I will definitely be adding this to the watch list for tonight. Although I don't usually fall asleep watching my own streams. In fact, I seem to be very wide awake and paying attention to them. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm so intrigued about my own live streams and my own talking to you guys, but I usually don't sleep if I'm doing my own playlists and stuff. It takes me a lot longer to fall asleep than if I just put someone else's stuff on. I don't do editing. I just, I hit end and upload. I don't have the computer to do editing. All I have is the phone, and, there's no sense in editing. It looks like that side piece over there, like we had tracks at one point. Are we stopping here? No, we're not. Okay, so we're skipping a station. That's the first station we've skipped. So we're not an all-stop service. I don't know if we're stopping anywhere else now. We might have stopped at all this one service was going to stop at. Maybe not. I think we're starting to slow down. Okay, there's that track going off that way again. Again, I'm not sure what's that off that way. I guess I could tell us where we're at if I came down here and found a sign. What does that say? West Drayton. Platform 3. Or 2 and 3. So I don't know what platform we're at. But okay, we're at West Drayton. Which might tell you guys more than it tells me. It tells me nothing. Again, I don't have these memorized to know where exactly that we're at in terms of how far is Paddington. Because it looks like we're halfway. And that was just coincidence that we were near the sign. Sounds like the dogs are carrying on. No. I've got my door closed. I don't know, but it sounds like they're carrying on out there. Alright, so we just left West Drayton and we're on our way into Paddington on this 166 service. We're just riding along in the second seat in the cab. This is the last run for today's stream. We've already done a 43 depot move. And then waited in Paddington for 10 minutes before we rode it out to Reading. And then we've done a 66 service running freight up to Reading. And then I exited what we were doing with the 66 because I didn't know if we were going to go off the map or not at Reading Station. And then we jumped into a 166 service leaving from Reading. There's a video of me doing the depot moves for the 66, or the 166 and 43. 43 didn't go so bad, that's why I put a depot move out to Paddington in this live stream, but the 166 we got to Reading okay, and it's a separate video. I don't think I'm breaking this video up into three, don't think I'm gonna separate this live stream into 3 separate videos of each service. It's just more work than I care to mess with, unfortunately. But I did do those little short videos of those depot moves. The 66 has no place that it is stored when it's not in service, or I would have done a depot move of it. And we're coming into our next station. Maybe I can find out where we're stopping. Thanks for coming in and watching. You know, hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not subscribed, and hit that notify bell. Again, I'm probably doing I'm surprised anybody has shown up today. you're not chatting, but we're definitely doing an old game and something that's not even being released today. But I've not seen the counter go up to 2 multiple times in the same stream, so. Alright, where are we at now? Is there a sign nearby? Is the other question, huh? Alright, I don't see a sign, and I'm not going to keep trying to move around. I'm using only one hand to move the camera, so I'm not gonna search for what place we're at, but the station before this was West Drayton. So this might be Drayton. And this is where we're at. So we still got maybe a... It still looks like we got halfway. We're still close to halfway to Paddington. Excuse me, I had the hiccups there. And for a 66, this train sound, for an electric 166, this train sounds really loud. Or not electric, or diesel, I'm sorry. Yeah, you can't run electric on here in the time frame we're on because the lines aren't completely connected. Another empty side yard, which is just what we're gonna see on Train Sim World 2020. So I don't know, like I said earlier, I don't know what the next ride-along will be for Train Sim World 2020. I'm only doing ride-alongs once I've gotten all the DLC for Route. Unfortunately, this one got no DLC. And the only other, the other one would be, again, Oakville Subdivision didn't get any. And again, I'm not gonna do a ride-along for each game. Like, I'm not gonna do Canadian, National, Oakville Sub on 2020, and then when I get to it on, when I got to it in Train Sim World 2, I'm not gonna redo it. There's nothing changed. Nothing's changed with that route since 2020. Other than some, maybe the sky, the clouds, the Vetromolic, or whatever, you know. The lighting might have changed a little bit, the skybox might have changed a bit, but there's no reason for me to go back to do CN after, like, we do the intro, the 2 locos, and a ride-along. There's no more need to go back to it until it gets an update. There are some routes on the through the series that we will see a lot of, and some we won't. Like Bakerloo. Once I add the 38 tube stock DLC to the Bakerloo line, there's no need to come back to see it again. Other than maybe do a run when when I bring it up to Train Sim World 5, because maybe by then they've worked on the Bakerloo and you might see some of the West Coast Main Line and the overground, the TFL stuff running where it belongs alongside you on the Bakerloo. I'm not sure. Well, we're skipping this station. So that's 2 stations we've skipped. So yeah, we're not a all stop. We're a skip stop service. We've got some tracks going off to the left there. Partial shed. Looks like it anyway. And I think we're skipping this station as well. Yep. Now we're slowing down, so we're stopping here. Let me get the camera down. Oop. Well, maybe the camera wasn't low enough. Well, hey, they got their lights on correctly. We're at Ealing and Broadway. And there's something to do here. Because there's a marker. Now, as far as I know, these boards are not accurate in 2020. Yeah, there's nothing there. Alright, so Ealing and Broadway. So, does that mean we're at West Ealing or Ealing next? And of course, I don't think we can get to those platforms. And there's tracks going off to the left. That go off somewhere, because you see they go over us, and then there's another one going over the other way. And then there's more going off there. And you can't even explore them, no matter which version of the game. You really can't explore that much. They put the roadblocks up there. That's where I said it'd be cool as if you had the, like a whole world map. Now, Microsoft Flight Sim, they don't put train tracks in, but, or they don't put trains on tracks if they put the tracks, but in Flight Sim 2024, we will be able to get out and walk around. So if you want to actually take a hike down a track, and that you can't in TSW, I believe we would be able to. We got some tracks going off to the left right there too. And they go off to where we can't get to. But we're also coming up on one, I guess, Acton here, because it's a big yard. Of course, a big empty yard. Look at all the tracks over there that are empty. And same over here. No, there's Old Oak Common. Okay, so we're at Old Oak Common now. But still, look how empty this is with all the trains out of the yard for the day. There's the railroad bridge that you go over when we did the depot move. I know we're coming up on the end now. I think we're slowing down. Are we going to stop at a station? Or maybe it's the speed limit slowing us down. I don't think there's a stop. Right, see, you can't get to that platform at all. And then the other station coming up over here. I mean, there's a collectible you can go get, but if you tried to run, like in Train Sim World 4, I tried to run a train up in there, and it told me I was out of bounds. And then there's tracks going down that way I don't think we're allowed on in any game without going out of bounds. Here's the station we never stop at right there. Okay, and I think those are third rails off to the left that go somewhere where we can't get into either. Again, you can't do much exploring in this game or in the other ones. Well, folks, we made it to Paddington. Let's close this door for the driver, because apparently they don't need the door. I say that, and then I'm trying to maneuver without falling onto the tracks. Alright, well, this... Okay, that goes down into the tunnel, so I don't know if that's what's going on there, because there's a tunnel back there. You can kind of get down, even in this one. We're at Paddington. We've done a service on all three. I don't know. The next time we'll see the Great Western on this channel will be on Train Sim World 2's Legends of the Great Western. But until then, keep watching those videos, hit subscribe, hit that like, hit that notify bell, and I don't know what our next ride-along will be, but I'll let you guys know when I'm about to do it. Again, I normally put live stream on Tuesdays and Sundays at 10 a.m. is when I start, and I'm almost always on time. No one's ever been waiting for me yet, so I hope to see you guys there. I hope you enjoyed this live stream, and we're gonna be just shy of 3 hours, but we've been on long enough. My elbow is starting to hurt. I need to go get some food and go out and do what I do outside. So I will see you guys later. Bye.